Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. I am going to be doing the hashtag JJ Madness journal for the month of February. This is a challenge that's hosted by Susan at iturtleyloveit. And each month she has a guest collaborator who picks 4 to 8 themes to make journals, and Susan puts them in the little spinner app for the theme to be determined, and then she rolls some dice to give us the number of materials and the number of makes we're to put inside of the journal. She does have a Google list that you can get from her coffee shop that will give you ideas for both the materials and the makes. And you can get, like I said, through her coffee shop, or I'm sure you can go jump over to her video and she has it linked in her video. So this runs February through November, maybe? I can't remember. I do know that she takes July off because so many people do I can't think of the challenge in July. But anyway, she takes July off, is the point that I'm trying to get across. So if you want to join in, please jump over and watch her introductory video for this month. And she explains it in lovely detail. And I participated in this last year. I did all of the monthlies, plus I was a guest collaborator for one of the months last year. She is full for 2026 as far as people who want to host, but she did say in her video the other day, even though she has not made an open call for 2027, you're welcome to reach out to her and, you know, let her know that you would like to be a guest collaborator for 2027. So, this month the guest collaborator is Polly at Charming Tabby. And I was not familiar with Polly, so I'm looking forward to watching her videos and seeing her work. The theme that was chosen is flowers. The number of materials was 7, and the makes was 7. So I have already made my journal, and if you watched my Texas two-step video yesterday, you will have heard the story about this journal and this cover. Sorry, I'm having to stand up to adjust my chair. It's just not in the right spot. Okay. So I had started out making the cover for this, and I was being so wishy-washy that I got frustrated and I turned the camera off because I kept moving things around and I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, and I just felt like that it was going to be a 5-hour video of me just moving flowers around on the page. So I got frustrated, turned the camera off. I was able to complete the cover, and I am happy with the results, finally. But I had this vision about what I wanted in my mind, and I just couldn't get it on this cover. But I finally worked it out. So this is my journal. This is an old cover from a old speller like a school book, speller. And I had this cover. It didn't have anything on the inside of it. The cover was in pretty good shape. I thought the color green would go really nice with the floral, so that's why I picked it. And also because there's only 7 materials and 7 makes, I knew I could get by with this smaller spined journal and still complete the brief and have a nice little journal when I was done. All the florals you see on here are from a flower book that I had. This is by the Digital Collage Club. And then I've got some just script in the back a little bit. And then I actually made this tag out of some black cardstock. And then put a white border around it and emboss this flora on here. So I needed another black element, I thought, since this one was black. There are a few gold splatters on there. I don't know if they're showing up, but I did put a few just to tie in the gold embossing here, and I felt like that this was more toward a gold tone. So that's how I got my cover. On the inside, I have left it pretty grungy because, you know, that's me. This is Tim Holtz paper, and then I put a piece of washi tape here. Same in the back, it's Tim Holtz paper with washi tape. As far as papers, I have just a variety of different papers. I did keep them pretty much blank because I felt like that the florals that I have that are going to go in this book are quite bold. And I didn't want to overwhelm it with too many patterns and things like that. So it just has papers with different textures. There's tea-dyed paper. There's newsprint, there's vellum, there's old ledger, just different kinds of papers, and it has 2 signatures. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to try to do 3 makes in this video. None of them are going to be earth-shaking or anything like that, but we're going to get started and kind of give an idea of where this journal is going to go. I think at some point I will add some photographs and things like that, but what I want to do first is get all my florals in so I know what everything is going to look like with the florals, and then I may go back in and add some, you know, photographs, because I like to use photographs, either actual digital or actual authentic photographs or digitals. I just like to include people in my journals. So, the first thing I'm going to make is I have a ton of these 4x6 papers that were in a 4x6 pad that I got at Hobby Lobby. I got it years ago. It was on clearance. I picked it up. They had a bunch of them that were like $1 something a piece, and I picked them up just because they were $1 something a piece. And I've had them forever, and, you know, it's one of those things, why did I buy that? I'm not ever going to use all that. Well, this is a good opportunity for me to use a bunch of them, and I'll show you here. By the way, the first thing that I do when I'm going to do like something like this is I go through my stash and I pull out everything that I feel like is going to be within the theme. And I divide it into papers, you know, little pieces for ephemera. And I also go through my already made ephemera because if not, it's just going to sit there. So I go through that. I go through my washies. So you can see I've got my little spool here that's got all my floral washies on it that I thought I could use. And I store them on these little spools whenever I start a new journal, so they're all in one spot. And then I have my little muffin tin that has all my little scrappy bits that I might use as far as, you know, flowers and washi stickers and, you know, buttons if I decide I'm going to use buttons, that kind of thing. So that everything, I don't have to go digging for anything, I guess is what I'm saying. So here is that pad of paper. And actually, this is like two different pads, because one of them had all the florals, and then the other one had the kind of shabby woods or farmhouse kind of woods with the florals. I don't have a lot of that left. I've actually used more of this than I have these bulk florals. So I'm hoping I'm going to get rid of, I say get rid of, but use up a lot of those in this. And then, of course, I have my regular size papers, too, in Tim Holtz papers and things like that. So, alright. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a journal card out of this. And I picked this one, you know, just to go with the yellows and greens that are over here. And then I have, this is out, excuse me, out of a floral book that I have. And that's another thing. I went through, you know, all my books that have my florals in it and picked out, you know, pages, book pages to use. So I want to put these on here just to kind of bring in that yellow and green again, and to kind of tone down that busy paper. So that's basically going to be, oh, and I've got this little kind of tickety thing that I want to put down here. So that's basically going to be like our journal card. And then I had in my stash this little, it's actually a faux paper clip. It looks like it's a paper clip, but it actually glues over the page. So I'm going to glue it up here so that it's a tuck. So I can tuck this journal card up under it, if that makes sense. Alright, so let's do some inking and some gluing. I don't think I'm going to cover the back of this. I know it's a white, but I think there's going to be enough white in this journal that it's going to be okay. So let's glue all this down. And like I said, some of these makes are going to be just super simple. Most of them are, actually. But it's just about getting started, to me. And if you're new to the channel, you will know that when I'm working on a journal, when I start making my ephemera for pages or decorating pages, I do whatever's going to be on the front page whatever's going to be in the center layout, and then whatever's going to be on the back page of each signature first, because that is, I guess for lack of better things, where your attention is going to be the most. I mean, when you open a journal, the first thing you're going to see, is the first page. And I do not think I'm going to ink this. Don't look at the back. There's a pretty flower on the back. Not that I'm not going to ink in this journal. I just think on this particular one, I'm not going to, because I think it would look better not to. Now, I'm going to ink around the whole, I guess I misspoke there. I'm going to ink around the whole page. I'm not inking behind where I'm putting these papers on. I think I missed that corner. Sorry, my buttons on my topper rubbing across the glass. It's kind of annoying sounding. Or maybe it's just annoying me more than it's annoying you. Alright, I got a fuzzy on my finger. Get off there. Okay, and I think around the corners, just to give it a more finished look, and then we'll ink around the whole thing. It's actually supposed to be in the 40s today here, but the wind is just whipping. So it kind of negates the fact that it's going to be in the 40s because the wind is blowing so hard and cold. But I guess I have to take what I can get. It could be 8. Like it was last week, so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this at the top, just like this, and I'm not going to glue this side, but I'm going to glue this side completely down. And you can see this is made with that same background paper and then another kind of green printed paper. So I'm going to put my ink on this side. Ink, glue. Come on, Tammy, get it together. piece of paper stuck on the back of there. Now it's stuck on my thumb. Sorry, I had my pen in my mouth. Big sports weekend this weekend, guys. We got the Olympics starting. Got the Super Bowl on Sunday. I may have to glue down that one side. I think I will. I'm going to glue down this side as well. Okay, so that's that one. Like I said, very easy. And I may come back and do some stamping. But, like I said, right now what I'm trying to do is just get everything all, get all my florals in so I know what I'm working with. Okay, so that's that. Now, we're going to flip over and do the center layout. And in this signature, I actually put a piece of vellum in the center. So, what did I do in the other one? I don't think I put it in the... No, I've got newsprint on that one. But in this one, we have the vellum. So, I'm going to be working on this kind of peachy colored dyed paper. I ordered this off Etsy with some tea dyed paper, and I've had it for a while, and I was trying to find where I got it from, and I can't find it. So I apologize for that. If I do find it at some point, I'll let you know. But it wasn't the person that I normally order my tea dyed paper from. Yes, I order it because I cannot stand to make it myself. So I order it from Godspeed on Etsy. She does an excellent job of dyeing papers, and she ships really quickly. So if you're looking for a source because you don't like it, I would definitely check her out. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to make a pretty simple belly band. I have this, actually I'm going to do a side tug. I have this paper, I'm not sure who this is. This is how the strip was in my scraps. But yeah, I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. And I think it has enough of that peachy color in it to work. So I'm going to mark this and cut it as a side tuck. So I need to cut it about right there. And I'll save this scrap to use somewhere else because it's got a beautiful floral on it still. That'd make a pretty tag. And then I'm going to cut a notch in it. Just kind of fold it over and pinch it so I kind of know where the center is. And then use my whale tail tab punch and put a little notch. That almost shot across the room. Okay, I'm gonna ink around that. Quick, quick, quick. Okay, and then to add some dimension to this, because it's just a flat piece of scrapbook paper, I've got some fussy cut flowers, and these are from Mente. They have several scrapbook sets, pads, that are, I lost my little bud piece, there it is, that you can fussy cut out. Let me see. They're like this one, but they're flowers instead of the frames. They're pretty stiff cardboard, so they're or cardstock, so they're, you know, it's good quality. And I got mine at a local craft shop, but I'm sure that you can search distributors in your area that carry the Mente papers. But they have different ones. They have ones that have, like this one has like a page of white flowers, page purple flowers, page pink flowers. But they also have some that are fall foliage, and then they have some that feature like little bouquets of different colors. How about inking all these at the same time, Tammy? That would be nice. But I just wanted to bring this in so it's to give dimension, that it's not just a plain old flat piece of scrapbook paper. And I think the flowers are real close between what's on the paper and these. So if I leave that on like that, you can see that's almost just like that. So that's what we're going to do. So let me glue this on first so I know the space that I'm working out. Pull that off that seam just a little bit so the pages will still close nicely. And another thing that is going to be difficult for me is because my spine is pretty much already set for this one, I don't have a lot of wiggle room to do, you know, really bulky elements. So I'm going to have to be careful when I'm working in this journal to not bulk it up too much. So I'll probably be doing, you know, flatter pieces and a lot of collage work and stuff like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I have this paper. I got this in Paris, I think, at like a stationery shop. But it's, I think it's made to use for like gift wrap or something like that. And I want to make an envelope. Because one, it's nice and crinkly. But I want to square this up a little bit. Get rid of some of this damaged part so I know what I'm working with. I mean, not get rid of it as in throw it away, but get rid of it as in cut it down and put it in my scraps so I can work with it better. Okay, so I need a envelope. I'm just gonna do like a really I'm trying to decide, do I want to do like a coin envelope? I think I will. Well, I do want it to be wide enough for this postcard to go on here. I'm not doing anything fancy, guys. I'm telling you, for this. Okay, so if I fold it about right there, then I cut it about right here and right here. Let's see what we come up with. Okay. Cut this off straight. Okay, that'll give us a good start. Alright, so yeah. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold both sides in just a little bit. Try to keep it a little straight. Did I fold that the wrong way? Yes. Guinea bird. Or did I? Yes. What am I doing here? No, that's right. Okay. I thought I did it wrong, but I didn't. Or did I? Heaven help me, I can't decide what I'm doing here. I don't know if I want to do... Okay, that's right. And then this is the top. The bottom is the fold. Bottom's the fold. Okay, so I want to cut here. Put an angle. And I want to cut here. Put an angle. So that's going to make that. Cut a little bit more off that. I cut on the outside of my fold instead of the inside. You should always cut inside your fold. That way it won't crash into your other paper. Okay, and then up here, this will fold down as my flap. And that's not... I don't want it to come down that much. Because I want my postcard to fit. So I'm going to fold it there. Is that good? No. I'll get this right in a minute. Well, that didn't do anything. Oh, I'm such a dork. Yep, that'll work. because I'll just cut off the extra. Alright, so at the top, I'm going to cut make sure I'm cutting at the right fold, since I've now folded it about 1,000,000 times. Here. I feel like I'm messing this up still. I know that's not right there on that side. I've done this 1,000,000 times. Why I cannot do it today, do not ask me, because it is going absolutely terribly. We're going to have to make our adjustment on the postcard, because at this point I have totally messed this up. I'm just gonna keep backing away, guys. Okay. See, I messed the top up. Okay. We're gonna have to go further over. Jeez. It might be a mini envelope by the time we're done. This is what not to do when you're making an envelope. I'm not going to get 3 done. At the rate I'm going here. A postcard may just have to be a separate little insert at this point. I refuse to quit. I refuse to surrender. Envelope. Okay. We finally have an envelope. Somewhat. We're still crashing somewhere. I don't know, maybe the paper's just... Nope, this one. Okay. Alright, we're going with it at this point. It's semi-salvaged. So we're going to glue down this part. And we're going to glue down this part. And voila. That was painful. Now, my postcard is obviously going to be too wide, but that's okay. We're going to cut it off. Ink around that. Probably not going to get to the third page layout because my brain obviously was under major malfunction during that whole fiasco. Need a stamp to go here. We'll bring in some more of that little corally color. And we will cancel it. I'm really sorry about my buttons, guys. I'll have to remember to not wear this shirt anymore. While I'm crafting. Or at least when I'm taping. Okay, so that can go in there, just like that. How much time did I waste? Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, so now I want to take these two little vellum stickers, and I got these in like one of those Cora Create monthly boxes, and they have just been sitting in my stash. I've not had any place to use them, but I thought that they're very florally, and they've got kind of that corally color to them, and I thought I could stick them on this vellum, and it looked pretty cool. So I've got one for this side of it, and then I'm going to put one on this side as well. Do I need to? I don't know. That looks pretty good from the back. I was thinking maybe I needed to, but I might put the other one over here. Instead. No, I think I will put it. I'm just going to put it right over the top of the other one. They're both the same size. And that way, you're not seeing the back of the one. Oh, Timmy. You about did that upside down. Alright, before I went on my little brain fade on making the envelope, I was going to ask you guys if you were going to watch the Super Bowl. And if so, what team are you rooting for? And also, I wanted to tell you to be sure and try to catch the Budweiser commercial for this year, because one, I worked for an Anheuser-Busch or an InBev, AB InBev distributor here, and you know, their commercials are always awesome for the Super Bowl. But two, this Super Bowl ad, which I won't give too much of a spoiler, features a bald eagle from my state. If you know, Dolly Parton was instrumental in developing the eagle breast skew, and here years ago, and it's been quite successful in keeping eagles safe and allowing them to reproduce and sorry, I'm thinking and trying to talk at the same time, and apparently that's not working well today. But anyway, so yeah, they have one of the eagles is going to be in the ad. So if you get a chance to catch that, I think that you can watch it on YouTube or something as well if you don't see it during the game. But yeah, when I was at work before I retired, we always look forward to Super Bowl because, you know, Anheuser-Busch, in my opinion, and I'm not just being biased because I worked for an Anheuser-Busch distributor, AB InBev. I still call it Anheuser-Busch, even though they were bought out several years ago by InBev. I've always been partial to their ads because I think they always do such a fabulous job, especially the ones with the Clydesdales. They just melt my heart. I've seen the Clydesdales in person several times. We've actually hosted them several times in our area for different parades and things like that. I say we, my former employer, before I retired, hosted them for Christmas parades or, you know, some kind of celebration. They have to have a host, a local distributor host when they come in. So, because they have to have some place, you have to be able to provide them a place in your area that will board them and meet the requirements, which are very strict. Those horses are treated better than most people. Okay, so I'm going to make a flip out with this. This is a book page. It's something about the Gardens of England or something like that. So I'm going to cover the back of this with this coffee dyed, tea dyed ledger so that it will flip open like that. And then we'll call this one quits. I'm not going to get to the third one. Maybe we'll do the third one in the next video along with some others. But yeah, this is how I'm going to work through this journal. I'm just going to go through and make, you know, get all my flowers in, get my ephemera made. And then go back and determine if I want to add photographs or if I want to stamp, ink, you know, any of those processes after I'm done. I'm not worried about this being too even or anything like that. I just want it to go on here. And actually, I think I'm just going to wrap it around the page like this and put a paper clip on it. That way you won't lose any of that writing space. I'm going to even put like a little, well, that might be, I started saying I might do a binder clip. That may be too much bulk. I'll just use mini paper clip for now. Okay, so that's that. We'll probably have to do something up here. Oh, I did have something to put up there. Where's this? I've got a digital seed packet that I was gonna put up in that blank spot. I knew I had something. I say a seed packet, but it's just the picture off a vintage seed packet. For now, I'm going to put it up under the paper clip because I might want to put something else on the page, like something from a seed catalog or something. I think I have a vintage order form for some flower seeds that I might use. Okay, so we're going to call that done. So we have this. We have a wraparound there. And we have our little envelope, which was very much a struggle, tucked in there. And then we made our journal card for the front with the tuck. Okay, so that's 2. Sorry I didn't get to the 3rd one. We'll work on that in the next video. And again, be sure and check out Susan's channel at iturtleyloveit, and also Polly's at Charming Tabby. I plan on doing that this evening and see what she's got going on. So, and also if you want to see what other people are doing, be sure and check the hashtag JJ Madness. And I believe that Susan has a playlist on her channel where she's linking all the videos of people that are using the hashtag. So, that's it for today. And sorry for the clinky snaps on my shirt. And I apologize for the fumbling around with the envelope. I don't know why I couldn't get that going, but yeah, it just wasn't coming together, but it came out just fine. So all's well that ends well. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.